through today, just trying to see what's happening with everything that I've got growing after a storm last night. Here's my creeping phlox, doing good. Catmint, blooming. Catmint growing. I got a little bit of weeding to do there. No, the catmint, nothing too crazy. Just growing like it should. Hosta. These transplants look really good. This one, I don't know if you can see it, but in there is a brand new sprout. Kind of cool. I was waiting to see if it was going to send out a new leaf right away, and it did. My other transplants looking really good. And the patch where I took the little hostas from, filling in really, really nice. Got a soaking last night, so my sunflowers are looking good. My bulbs got a good soak, so they're standing nice and tall. The gladiolas look nice. My hollyhocks looking really good today. Let's see. There's a glad. I think this one's probably like 7 inches tall now. Hydrangea bush is growing even though it got munched on by the deers. Hollyhocks are looking really, really nice. And down here, I'm very excited to see first blooms. A couple of days ago, this was not sending out its first flower, but today it is. There we go. One of my zinnia transplants standing up, looking real, real good after all that rain. Even the hollyhock I didn't think was gonna make it is sending out a brand new leaf. Right in the middle. I don't know if you can see it or not, but right there in the middle. Brand new hollyhock growth. First zinnia in bloom. So that's really nice to see. I have not gotten any of my snapdragons in, so that's what this empty front space is supposed to be. But everything's looking really good. Well watered after the storm. I'm not gonna have to water anything today, I don't think. Cosmo is looking absolutely fantastic. The Cosmo is just lovely. After last night's rain, here it is. Just a little zinnia standing up nice and proud. It's only about 2 inches tall. I can't believe how big the leaves are. Mint plant. It's very, very first blooms. Nothing super exciting, but it just got planted about 2 weeks ago, so I'm really excited to see how it's starting to fill out on its own. Let's go take a walk through the daisy field. I don't know how they got beat up last night, but everything's looking really tall. Not sure if you guys can see how big it is, but let's go take a wander through the daisy patch. One of the reasons I fell in love with the Shasta daisies is they have the ability to crowd out some invasive species I've got going in my yard. Let you get a close-up of some of my beautiful daisies. Even after the storm last night, they're still perfect. There's a big patch. Massive patch of them. I'm trying to use these to combat some invasive species that I have. I don't actually know what the name of this plant is that I'm about to show you, but this little yellow flower right here is an invasive species in Wisconsin that grows or used to take over my whole yard. It used to be my whole yard. And I know they're invasive, whatever the heck they are. And I'm trying to crowd them out with something beautiful. And my daisies are doing a good job because they're much taller Then the little yellow flower, see down here is one trying to get through my daisy patch. But then you come up here and you look from the top, and my daisies kind of shade them out. My daisies put out probably, I don't know, 15 to 20, even 25 blooms per plant. So that's why they get used as cut flowers a lot. But me, I'm just trying to use mine to smother out some of the invasive species that I've got going on my prairie type lawn. We just never had a lot of grass growing. It was all just weeds and nasty, disgusting things that didn't look very popular or didn't look very good. So when we started doing No Mow May, I started figuring out which of these plants in my yard were invasive. And a quick Google search would tell me what some of the plants I could plant to smother them out were. So I started by buying packets of mini Shasta daisies and throwing them. So here they are, just trying to do their thing, smothering out some invasive plants I've got going. Anyways, I won't take you through all of everything. I mean, I could show you my daisies for days, but you can see where I don't have daisies planted. You can see how well the invasive species come in. And even though there are pollinators on it, they're not the best thing for my yard because they're not native. So, I don't know if I've ever showed myself, but I'm going to flip. You guys are going to get to meet me a little bit. I always have my hair up kind of crazy. I always do these crazy like 90s buns. We're just going to walk over to my front porch, and then I'm going to flip you and show you a couple of the beds I have, and probably my favorite bed, honestly, besides my milkweed. Front porch. Here's my mature hostas. Nothing too crazy. I've got some wild violets growing in with them. They're a nice shade plant, and they're the only food source and host plant for the Fritillary regal butterfly, which is endangered in Wisconsin. So anyways, here, to see it from the back, is my row of 26 zinnia. Zinnia are probably my favorite plant. And so I just planted a ton of them. Here's a bloom. They're probably about 12 to 18 inches tall right now. They're, oh my gosh, look at that one. Spectacular. So yeah, I know a lot of people don't think gardening is very interesting, but I love seeing my plants grow every day. I love seeing their leaves change. Like seeing when they get fertilized, them turn a deep green. And this one is tall, and I imagine within the next 2 to 3 days it's probably gonna bloom. You look from the top. She looks like she's gonna be a pink zinnia. I seem to have a lot of pink and red this year. I just went with a mixed pack of zinnia. I didn't even go with anything like crazy this year. Next year I'll probably do all Benry's Giants. Here's something I thought was fun. The rabbits came in and nipped my zinnia. So now it's starting to send out some side shoots. And so this one's an experiment. I left it in to see what they look like when they get naturally topped. If this one's gonna be a shorter, bushier plant. If I prefer to leave them like this, where they're just not topped and they're just tall and send out their own stalks all on their own. But yeah, it just goes and goes and goes and goes. Here's an empty spot. I had a zinnia here, but twice I planted a beautiful plant there, and twice it got nipped off at the base. So I don't know if there's something living in this area of the deck, if I have a groundhog or something. But so far, none of the other plants are affected. We'll see. My baskets, I planted all of these from seed. They're Proven Winner, second gen petunias. I just don't deadhead my petunias, and I let them make seed pods, and I collect the seeds for next year. Usually gives me a mixed kind of pinky fuchsia purpley bunch. There's also snapdragons, Just a pack of Burpee, nothing too crazy. These are bicolored, so I've got like pink with like a yellow shell. And then I've got marigold that I grew from seed. And these are filling in the pots real nice. Thriller, filler, and spiller method. Here it is in one gorgeous pot that my hummingbirds absolutely love. Down here are my forget-me-nots. I know they're not every gardener's true dream, but they're one of my favorite flowers. And actually, now that the leaves are getting so big, I'm talking so big, they're so beautiful. Right in here, you can see my flower heads are forming. They kind of form a little bit like broccoli, it almost looks like, but then they shoot out these long stems with beautiful blue flowers. So if anybody sticks around that long, in about 4 weeks, you'll get to see those pots fill out with blue. Full sun in this gigantic pot. My dahlias, I only have 2. I've never grown dahlias before. These were a Mother's Day gift. And I don't know what to do with them. I have no idea. So I gave them some trellising yesterday. I used an old orchid thing, and so I've got it set up and kind of stuck in. I went wide so I didn't poke the tubers. I don't know what to do. I've never grown them, so we'll see. I'm not going to take off any of the flower pods after they're done blooming or anything like that. We'll see if I can collect some seeds, because that's really what I love, is growing things from seeds. Bearded iris. They're almost done blooming for the year, but here they are. Got a big clumper of them around my my light pole. Blueberry bushes got eaten real bad by bunnies, so they're all in cages. But I think I'm gonna have some blueberries, because if you look right in there, they're starting. And out here, I'm gonna take you out to my veggie patch. There's the peppers. Poblano pepper. Jalapeno pepper. Green peppers. I've got 5 of them. Red peppers. Got 5 of them too. My corn. Gets watered every day, so I think it's going to be knee-high way before the 4th of July. Tomatoes. These are my Roma, 12 Roma tomatoes. And cherry tomatoes. And of course, here's my favorite part, my milkweed. Something has been coming into the yard and snipping off a little bit of my milkweed. But here's one baby. There's a baby milkweed. It's about 2 inches tall. So if you've never seen a milkweed, this is what they look like. There's another one. There's one that's a little bit bigger. A few more leaves. Milkweed. 2 to 3 inches tall, just growing, nothing interesting. But when I get butterflies, I'll get to make some cool butterfly videos, and I'll be excited about that. And companion planting. Here's a marigold I planted in the middle of my milkweed patch to try to keep bugs away from my precious milkweeds. This one's doing really good. It looks fantastic. And there's further on down the row. Here they are. There's another one doing really, really good. It's got new ones coming in at the base. I was kind of shocked. And there's another one. I'm getting leaves. Its leaves are getting pretty big. So I think they're putting down good roots. Anyways, this is the milkweed patch. Something came in and snipped some of the leaves off this milkweed plant, but I don't think they liked it because nothing's touched it since those first leaves got nipped off. I still haven't planted anything in this bare end of the garden. So, aside from some new potato sprouts coming up in my buckets, I got nothing new to show you. I will show you the potato sprouts though, because that's kind of cool. My husband did this a couple of days ago. So, if you can see in there, right here, potato sprouts. Just took old russet potatoes that were growing feet, threw them in a bucket. So, got 7 of them. So, you guys have a good day. That's all I've got for you today. I appreciate you joining me. Tomorrow, I think I'll take you into the orchard and we'll continue to check for baby fruit. Thanks for stopping in. We're already back to the beginning where I started, so I'm super boring. You're just going to kind of see me walk through my yard. Same way every time. Take care, everybody. Come back soon if you want to see the plants grow.